Good evening. Apologies for the rain that is battering down on the roof above me, but unfortunately there's not anything I can do about that, I'm afraid. But welcome in. We're later than we normally would be on a Thursday evening, but I have been very out of sync with all my Facebook lives and with lots of things really. I'm still struggling to get back into some sort of routine following the Christmas break, but I thought, well, better late than never. I will come in this evening and we'll do a little bit of crafting. Now it's a little bit on the hoof. I haven't had any sort of, long-term pre-arranged plans. And I haven't done here any I've made earlier. In fact, the stamp sets that we're going to be playing with this evening, I've not yet used either of them. So it will very much be off the cuff, on the hoof, playing with new things. You can play along with me, so you'll be playing with them the first time, as indeed I am. So my name is Helen Jennings. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in a dark and rainy UK, and it's my pleasure always to come in and to do a bit of crafting with you and to share with you some of the gorgeous products that obviously we have in our Stampin' Up catalogues. And this time of the year is also always a very special time of the year. Not only have we launched our new mini catalogue, I'm sure the rain is getting louder just to compete with me. Not only have we launched our brand new mini catalogue, this beautiful mini catalogue packed full of gorgeousness, celebration. So I thought we'd have a bit of a play this evening with some stamp sets that I'm going to be using in a couple of weeks' time at my Saturday Stampers event. Now I've got myself a drink. I know it looks as if it is dentist mouthwash, but I promise you it isn't. It is a cordial. I think it's something like raspberry, black currant and orange blossom cordial with soda water. So it tastes very nice. Doesn't taste anything like dentist mouthwash, even if that's what it looks like. So we have a drink on hand, we have our catalogues here, and we have the stamp sets and things that I'm going to be using in a couple of weeks' time at the Saturday Stampers. And if you would like to join us, if you are local to me here in Northamptonshire and you would like to join us for that event, then do get in touch. There's still time for me to order your choice of stamp set. And with particular Saturday Stampers, particularly bearing in mind that we are in celebration, and if we place a £45 order, we get a free item. With this particular Saturday Stampers, you can either just have the one stamp set, the Bonanza Buddies stamp set, a really cute stamp set that looks very odd, but got really cute lions, koalas, toucans, birthday presents, hats, some really nice greetings there. A lovely one for younger members of the family or those that are young at heart. So we're going to be using the Bonanza Buddies stamp set, and you can just come along to the class and get the Bonanza Buddies stamp set as part of your bundle, and that is £35 option. Or you can choose to have the Bonanza Buddies and the dies with it. Where have I buried those? They were here somewhere. Are they still in my basket? No. Here they are, tucked under here. So you've got the dies that go with it. So you've got this nice bunting, you've got a beautiful big label, you've got the little dies that cut out the creatures. So you can have the Bonanza Buddies and the die bundle. And I'm just bringing it up to have a look and see what that what the pricing is on that option. Do is you can have the special Someone stamp set as well, so another stamp set in the catalogue featuring some really cute little creatures. You've got this little raccoon here, you've got the squirrel, you've got the little mouse, you've got the balloons and the flowers, and this is a step stamp set. I photopolymer stamp. So you could have that one as well to add into your bundle, and that will take you over the price point to get a celebration item. And if you take on the whole bundle, so if you have that, the stamps, the dies plus the extra stamp, you get a free class. So I don't charge you for the class, the day class that you come along to, and you get the choice of having a free celebration item. And the one that I suggested that you might like, as we're going down the cute creatures route, is that you might like the stamp set with these fabulous cheeky little meerkats on. And we've actually been I've actually created a card that's going on the tour around the county this month using this stamp set, and there they are. Look at those cheeky little faces on there with their little birthday hats on. Aren't they just gorgeous? So those are your options, and let me just bring it up and tell you what the prices are for those different options. And this class is actually on Saturday the 25th of January, and it's one that I'm going to be holding here at home. So the places are limited, because obviously there's only so much room I have around my table. So if you have just the stamp set and come along to the class, that's £30 for the day class. Bring your own lunch or refreshments provided, but you get that stamp set as part of your bundle. The second option is to do to have your all-day class, to have your Bonanza Buddy stamp set plus the dies that go with it. And if you do that, your the total for the class plus the bundle is £42.50. So you get a reduction on the cost of your class. And option 3, as I said, is to go for those 2 stamp sets plus the dies that go with the Bonanza Buddies. You get a free all-day class, and you also get a free celebration item, and the price for that is £52. So for if you pay an extra, well, it's not even £10, is it? £9.50. So if you were thinking of going for that one, pay an extra £9.50, and you're going to get a free class plus 2 stamp sets in with that as well. So yeah, it's the website. You can go onto the website to book it, and I'll put a link to that when I edit this video. It says there to order by the 11th of January to guarantee your products for the class. We might have a little bit of leeway on that, but that ideally would be when you'd need to give me your order for your class. If you order after that, you're of course more than welcome to come along to the class, but I can bundles, your stamp sets and things will be here, but it would still be lovely to have you. So that's the class that's coming up on the 25th of January using these really cute guys. So I thought we'd have a little look at them today, give you a bit of a taster, well, and me a bit of a taster of what you can do with the Bonanza Buddies there, the koala and this lion. So that's his face with this the little face bit is just there that adds in to create the face. There's your face for your koala. So although they look a bit odd there, when you start adding in the features, they are very, very cute. So we've got Bonanza Buddies, we've got the dies that go with them, we've also got stamp set, which is really lovely, and then we've got the gangs all Mia. And the other things that you've got in this particular suite, you've got these fabulous papers. And obviously, as you can see there, you've got the toucan, got some nice backgrounds, you've got the koala, some birthday candles, some ice cream, so really nice generic papers as well. There's your lion, there's these really nice backgrounds, that's sort of like Daffodil Delight and Mango Melody sprinkles on there. You've got all the little gang on that one with the stripes on the back. You've got these really nice balloons on the back there. You've got the presents, so some really nice bright bold papers that are fabulous with all the little creatures on, but are also really good generic prints. And you can actually see some of those papers reflected in this little 6x6 pack here, and this is the little 6x6 pack that you get as a free if you join during celebration. So you get this pack of 6x6 papers, and you can see there there's some of the balloons that are in that set, and so as well as some from the tropical set, and they're all dressed up, and the poppies, and that's from the celebration lilies set. So really nice, more from the poppies set, a really nice selection of papers from across packs that there are in this mini catalogue. So there's not all of the packs aren't featured there, but you do get a nice selection. So you get that 48 sheets of 6x6 double-sided paper that is a standard normal quality paper. It's not any thinner or cheaper or anything else. It is the same beautiful standard that you'd expect from us. So you've got your 6x6 pack, you've got this really cute and really useful little mini trimmer that I'm sure that we shall be using during the course of this evening, and the other item that you get if you join up during celebration, as well as your normal £130 worth of product of your choice for £99, you get your stamp, your paper, your trimmer, and you also get a stamp set of your choice from any current catalogue. And if that's something that you think you might be interested in, if you go on to my blog, at the end of last week I put up a blog post where I listed the top 10 expensive stamp sets in the catalogues, so that you can have a look, browse that list, and see what ones that perhaps you might like, to make sure that you get the best value out of that special offer and that starter kit. And it is more than possible actually to double your £99 investment, so to pay £99 and get double that in value when you the cost of a paper pack and a mini trimmer and your stamp set. So let's get playing. So it's lovely to see you. Hello Sarah, happy new year to any of you that are joining me. Do pop on and say hello. I've just turned my sound off so it doesn't ping at us anymore. And let's have a little play with some of these stamp sets, and let's have a look and see what we can create. I'm just looking, I haven't picked up a big shot. Let's do that. I spent all day today doing some sort of online training and trying to work out some things with MailChimp and things. And so whereas I was going to spend quite a bit of the day concentrating, instead I ended up doing battle with computers, and if you're like me, that's never a good thing. Right, I'm going to start with this special and I've got some sort of vague ideas in my head of where we might go with it. Let me just pop this big shot down for a minute and bring in a trimmer, because I think the first thing we'll do is we will create a card base from some Early Espresso card, and I actually want to do it a side opening card base, so I'm going to cut that at 10.5 centimetres. I'm going to swing it round and I'm going to score it, and then we will fold that and create a side opening card. And then I want to take some Mossy Meadow and I'm going to create a mat to go on the top of that. So I'm going to cut that so that it is 14.4 centimetres by 10 centimetres, just like that. And then somewhere I've got a piece of the 6x6 paper from this little pack just here. And let's bring in our mini trimmer for this one, because I want this paper to measure 9.5 centimetres that way. Actually, I'm going to need to use my bigger trimmer for this way, because I need it 13.9 centimetres. Okay. So we have our card base, a mossy meadow mat and a DSP mat, and that's sort of like a, I don't know quite what sort of a, almost like a bamboo-y type background on that paper. It's sort of quite a nice rusticy sort of a background. I'm also going to need some Whisper White cards, so I'm just going to I'll cut this in half, and I'll cut it in half again just to give me a piece of Whisper White to work with. Right, the first thing I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to lift up my big shot and I'm going to do some die cutting. I'm going to bring in the stitched labels, and I want the largest stitch label and the next one down. But let's bring up our big shot, and I'm going to cut the largest label out of Mossy Meadow card and the smaller one from Whisper White. Now, because I'm going to be layering that mat on top of that one, I have no hesitation at all in cutting a big hole in the middle of this mat of Mossy Meadow card. I see no point. Nobody will know that that hole is under there once we've stuck it all together. So why waste that bit of card? So we're just going to cut out the larger one from there and the smaller one. Let's do it on an angle just there. That gives us quite a nice big bit of card left over then. From there to our big shot. We'll go back for good measure. Right, so there's our Mossy Meadow stitched label, and there's our Whisper White stitch label. Just having a think, because something else I want is a post-it note. So let's grab a post-it note. So we have our card base, we have our Mossy Meadow layer that's going on there with a hole in. We're having our paper layer that's going on the top to cover up the hole, and then these ones are going to come on the top just here. I'm going to bring them up a little way, and I shall actually chop off that edge bit when I get there. Now, somewhere round, I did, I believe, grab another stamp set. Yes, so I've grabbed another stamp set out of the new catalogue, and this one is called Mountain Air, and this is one of the reversible stamp sets, but I'm not actually going to use it reversible this evening. I've not yet, as you can see, played with this either, but it is one that I am quite excited to play with in due course. What I am going to do is, let's find a block. And let's also just grab a bit of scrap paper, because it's quite hard from feeling that. I think that is the side that is that has got the detail on it, because as you can see, one side of this stamp set is like a solid image, and the other side has got detail on it, and that's so that you can do like a background and then the more solid image on the top. But the side that I have picked up is indeed the side with the detail on. Yes, it very definitely is. So you can see there, where that's not a completely clear image, that's the side with the detail on. If we're to turn this over and ink up the other side, oh, stuck to the block. That is just a far more solid image, and then if you turn it round, you then get the detail on the top, which, as I say, we will play with in due course. Let me just grab my cleaning mat. A bit of kitchen towel. I'm also going to grab a foam mat. There we go, because that will help to give us a clearer image. So let's just test again that now we've cleaned it, we've got the right side. Fabulous. That's a really lovely image, isn't it? Right, so what I thought I would do is I would take this piece of DSP just here, and I'm going to stamp some of these trees coming across this page. Okay, it's a little bit of a damp piece just there, and that's all that is. It's where the paper got a bit damp, where I rested my my tray on it, where I'd just cleaned up my pad for cleaning. Let's lift that off. Let's give that block a bit of a clean as well. That's better. Right, trees going across the bottom of this paper. Pop that back in there. And I do like the way they've started to put the sort of the image on the back of the in the back of the box. So with the photopolymer ones, you can just match it up on there. So there's our background, as I say, and that will hopefully dry. And put that on there, and then we'll bring in our stitched label. It's the Whisper White, the slightly smaller stitched label. I'm going to start off with my little raccoon. Let's ink him up. I hope you're not hearing this rain quite as heavily as I am. I hope it's slightly muted for you. So I'm going to stamp the raccoon first of all in black ink into the centre of that label. Isn't he gorgeous? And then let's grab our post-it notes. Let's take one of these post-it notes, and with the sticky side at the top, I won't re-ink him because I just need an outline to cut out. I'm going to stamp him at the top, and that's just enough for me to be able to see him to cut him out. So I will cut him out in just a second, but before we do that, let's clean up this stamp, pop him away, and then we'll bring in the stamp that is the sort of infill, the colouring in stamp. So obviously you could use this stamp just here and get out your watercolour pencils or your markers or whatever it is that you feel like you'd like to use, and you could actually physically colouring them in. But I'm going to use stamps that are provided for that purpose. Ooh. And this isn't the one that I want. This is the one I want, some grey granite. I'm going to ink up this stamp with some grey granite. I'm going to stamp it off first onto our scrap paper, and then, because I don't want it to be too bold a colour, just want to give him a bit of a shading. So that's pretty spot on. So can you see how he's just that sort of slight grey browny sort of colour without being too bold, too in your face. So let's clean that stamp up, put him away, and then let's grab our scissors. Ooh, it's got my laptop sliding off the side. That won't be any good, will it? I've got scissors gone on walkabouts, that won't do. Close up our grey granite and our mossy meadow, and let's cut out our little raccoon just here. When it comes to masking, I did see a wonderful tip the other day, one of those aha moments you sometimes get. Whereas if you need to, I think it was with the meerkats actually, somebody was doing like a whole host of little meerkats, and so she needed more than one. So what she did was she just took off 2 or 3 sheets of post-it notes, stamped on the top one, and cut them all out at one go. So she had about 3 masks just by stamping and cutting once. That's like a, oh, well, why have I never thought of that? Aha moment. Right, so we're going to cover up our little raccoon on there because we're going to bring in some of his friends. So I think the first little friend we're going to bring in is the squirrel. Let's find the squirrel. The detailed squirrel, and we're going to sit the squirrel bring him in here somewhere, I think. And so I have got some occasion because we're going to have a red squirrel. I'm going to bring him up so he's sitting as close to him as I can possibly get. Yes. And I should actually have done that masking the other way round. I should have masked the squirrel and had the badger stamped on the top. I tell you, I've had too much of a break over Christmas. It doesn't do you any good. Let's take our little fill-in colour And again, I'm going to stamp this because I really don't want this to be as dark as that. Line it up. And then last but not least, let's bring in the little mouse. And I think the mouse will have in crumb cake. And have him sitting down here. They really are cute little creatures. Crumb cake again. Stamp it off on our scrap paper so that it's not quite so bold. So there we have our little squirrel, our raccoon and our mouse. And I said I've done that wrong way round. I should have actually masked the squirrel and possibly the mouse and have the raccoon on the top. But never mind. Now looks like that little squirrel is sniffing the raccoon's bottom. But such is the way of wild creatures. Let's pop those little stamps back there so we don't lose them. Little butterflies and flowers, balloons and all sorts of things that we could add into that little scene if we wanted to. But I think we'll just go for I'll take this little stamp here that says a very special day. And we'll ink up that with some just up there. And then there's another stamp here that says for a very special someone, which I think is also very cute. So let me just take this little scrap of Whisper White card here. And let's just... Oop. That wasn't very clear, was it? That bit of card over. That's what card has two sides for. That's a bit better. For a very special someone, and we'll add that in a moment. Right, let's have a little look then at building this card up. And there's our mossy meadow layer we put in. There's our stamped DSP with those trees in going on the top. So now the hole has completely disappeared. I'm going to stick this label here to the stitch labelled there. Then if we bring in our little trimmer, bring that there. Let's cut out this for a very special someone. That might be a better place for it. Now, I am going to, because this is going to drive me mad, the fact that this squirrel is behind that squirrel and not in front. So let's grab our Cajun craze and let's stamp our squirrel again. And let's take our infill squirrel. Stamp over the top. Oh, shall we go for third time lucky? Excuse my head. That's a bit better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this little squirrel. I'm not actually going to cut out his tail. I'm going to cut round here where his body goes. And then let's take some few little dimensionals. We're going to decoupage that little guy up a little bit. So his tail is actually still sticking quite way behind, but his little body's coming out in front of the badger, of the raccoon. That's much better. I'm liking that. Right, let's add that in just there. Let's add in this to a very special someone. Down here. Now I have got a little line just there that is equally very annoying. So I think we'll perhaps go with the flower. No, that's not right. See where that is coming. There, let us take the little narrow right, so I've put some tape over the end of that where I think it needs covering, because I don't need the whole of that string to be too long. So I've taped the end, ink up that bit, take the tape off, place that string in the mouse's paw. Fabulous. And then I'm going to take, should we have a normal balloon or a heart balloon? A normal balloon, I think. And I think we'll go with Mossy Meadow. Little block. This is the detail stamp. So let's stamp that. And then a little infill stamp. Ink it up. The same, the paper's gone missing. Stamp it off and stamp it on there, and then we'll cut that out. It really is raining out there. It's a good job we're not doing an outside broadcast. So let's take a couple more of these little mini dimensionals. We have them going about like that, I think. So there, a very special day for a very special someone. There's our little mouse with his balloon, and our raccoon and our squirrel. Very cute with that tree stamped in that background. That's quite sweet, isn't it? It's a really lovely stamp set actually. And lots of uses, so although it is cute, it is really quite suitable for men's cards. Make quite good masculine cards with that one. The little balloons are fabulous for all sorts of things. You could just be using those balloons to create great cards. I love the fact there's one of the greetings in here says this balloon is special, is one little greeting, And then this one says it's filled with helium. Heal as in make better. So great get well card. Sending people a balloon filled with helium. I do like that. Put that one in there. And we just have our little squirrel. Infill squirrel bit missing. So let's... Well, so special someone. A really nice photopolymer set with lots of potential. Saying that's one of the ones we're going to be using on the 25th of January. And we're going to be doing our cutesy sort of Saturday stampers. So I'm going to add that one there. And then I'm going to have a quick look at some of this paper. Now again, I've not played with any of this yet, but I have noticed that you are able to cut out some of these with the matching dies. So I'm going to cut out this little chap here. Yep, put it in the right way round. So he's one we can cut out. And the little koala who looks like he's waving. And this one here will cut out. And then the lion. He's just sort of standing. Let's have a look. Is there one? We'll go with this one just here. Now I've not tried these, so we're going to be experimenting together and see what these do. So let me grab the magnetic base plate, I think, and the Big Shot. Let's have a quick slurp of mouthwash. There's our magnetic platform and one of our acrylic plates. And let's have a look who we've got here. We've got a lion and a koala and a toucan. So here is the toucan. And here is a koala. And here is our lion. Now obviously the lion at this stage is going to cut out that centre point. But I'm hoping that we're perhaps going to be able to come back and cut out his mane. That's what we're about to find out. So let's run those little guys through and see what happens. Yep, we have a koala, a toucan. At least that one slipped slightly. Might actually run that one through again, just so that we catch that bottom. And oh, there's our central bit. So let's see if we're now able to capture the rest of his mane on the tip of his tail. Jumping just there. Sometimes happens with the base plate. But it just, the magnets aren't quite aligned properly underneath that it will jump. Let's see what happens when we run that through. That's better. That's trimmed him up a little bit better, hasn't it? And we have a mane and a tail. I don't want to lose that little bit of tail just there. I thought I would also there it is. Cut some of these tags. So let's take some Bermuda Bay and some Mango Melody cardstock. Just going to cut that down a little bit so it will go through the machine. And I think, let's have a look, we'll have 2 Bermuda Bay ones and 1 Mango Melody. I wonder if it's going to cut 2 out at once. Let's try it and see. Just going to run it through once more for good measure, because I am trying to get it to cut through 2, which may be a big ask. Especially as it's stitched as well. Certainly we have a green one there. It would have been better to have gone individually, but that's not bad. Right, so we've got a Mango Melody one, Bermuda Bay. We want 1 more Bermuda Bay. My magnetic base plate actually doesn't give the same pressure as my ordinary plate, so it may have been on my ordinary plate that those 2 might have gone through together, but that's okay. It's all a learning curve. So we have 3 tags, and I've also got the Starburst punch here. So let's have two yellow, 2 Mango Melody ones, and 1 Bermuda Bay. So we've gone the opposite to what we had before. And let's see what we've got here. So the toucan can go on there. The koala can go on there, and we can build up with his tail on that one. Now, will that fit? I think those 3 will be too much on that one. It might actually be much cuter to make them up as individual ones with some of the paper in the background. It's a bit too busy, isn't it? I think the balloons will be equally. I think what we'll do is we'll get a little bit of, we'll have a little strip of this. Let's go 2.5 inches, or around about, let's go 6 centimetres, like that. And then we'll take this to 13.9 like that. And then we'll take some more Mango Melody, and we'll have, that was 2.5, let's go 2 3/4. So we've got a strip of paper there. Then we've got a tag coming here, and then we've got our toucan on the top like that. That's really rather jolly, isn't it? And then ruched Daffodil Delight, because there's also Daffodil Delight in that background paper just there. Now let's build this up, and obviously do the same things with the other ones. You could equally make those into cards. You could just use them for tags on presents. I think we'll have some dimensionals under there. Have a look at this ruched ribbon through our tag. They're a nice sized tag actually, aren't they? That pops a little bit mad on the ribbon front. Balloon paper. I do like this balloon paper. Same paper that I used when I was making the meerkat card. And they're backed up with terracotta tile, because that's another of the colours that's in this paper. I think a few more dimensionals, don't you? These ones all seem to come off together. Could have perhaps done with the bigger ones on here, but never mind. Oh, that one stuck to me. Stella. And let's peel the backs off our quite a fun little guy. And obviously, as I said, you could similarly make cards with these little chaps or just use them as tags. I think somewhere I've seen we've already got some stitching around the edge of there actually, haven't we? The one of the embellishments that comes with this particular suite is actually pom-poms. Shall we have a little look and see if we fancy a couple of mad little pom-poms on there? What do we think? I'm not sure. They'd probably be better actually on there. They're quite nice if you've used the hats. If you've done the birthday hats, they're quite cute on the top of there, but I'm not convinced that I want a pom-pom on there. I probably will come back to that and add something else in. It may even be actually. But that wouldn't be a bad shout. To just take a little bit of this. This is the back of the cut a little bit of that out. Let's run that through the big shot. It's quite cute, isn't it? Now, do I want that to come off either side? I think I do. So I think what I'll do with that is I will put a little blob of glue on these centre pieces so they hold down. But then these two edges, I shall put a dimensional. One. Oh. And then let's stick that across there. So we've got the two end ones held up with dimensionals and the two held up. Just going to lift those up slightly. Oh. Let's take off that stickiness off there. There. That's really quite cute, isn't it? So there we go. As I say, I've got these other two little labels that I'll be able to have a play with. And we'll work something out for those. But then we've got the raccoon and the mouse and the squirrel. And then this other card that I showed you using those meerkats. It's doing the tour currently. So if this is something that you think you feel a little bit inspired, stamp sets and dies, and you're living locally and would like to come and join me on Saturday the 25th of January, then do get in touch and we can sort that out for you. If you're not living locally but you're living in the UK and they are something that you think you might like to order, then do follow the link to my online shop. And if you don't have a catalogue and you're here in the UK and you would like one, then please do message me and I will make sure that I get a catalogue sent out to you, not only the spring mini catalogue but also that Love-a-Duckie catalogue as well. So thank you for joining me. It's good to get back doing some crafting. The rest of my evening will be mapped out. I need to do a blog post and Death in Paradise starts. So that's my evening sorted. So I hope you have a good evening. I hope this rain stops and doesn't prevent you from getting out and about and doesn't give you any problems with any flooding or water on the inside that you'd rather be outside. But I will be back next week. So see you soon.